So Princess Loulwa, thank you so much for being here and giving me some of your time. How's your day going?
Very good.
Amazing. So for those who don't know the work and the great work you get up to, can you give us a brief overview?
So I lead RiseUp in Saudi Arabia. RiseUp is the biggest summit for entrepreneurs. Actually, we support startups to connect them with the relevant resources. That's what we do. We've been doing RiseUp for 12 years, and we just took it to Saudi. It's the third year now in Saudi for RiseUp to have a summit. And we've been working in Saudi for 7 years, like 4 accelerator programs. We do hackathons. We do incubators for startups and for entrepreneurs. So basically, that's what I do every day.
I mean, that's very cool. You know what I love about that? The smile that you have at the end. You're like, that's what I do every day. That's how I know that you love what you do. But how did you get into doing what you do, right? Because with all due respect, you can kind of do nothing. You can do everything. And there's so many other avenues in the world that do exist.
Yeah. So how did I started this? I come from a family that always tells you need to work. You need to have a passion in life. It's not because you come from a specific family or you hold a specific title, you should be a spoiled kid. We were never so. We were spoiled. We can be spoiled for specific people, but we weren't that spoiled. We always had. They always did not give us everything they could provide us, just for us to have a passion that drives us to do more, to gain more. So that was the first step for me. Since I was a child, in my subconscious, I always had words from my mom, from my dad, saying that when you grow up, you'll work. When you have your job. So by default, I grew up expecting myself to work. When I grew up more, I always believed that I had, or not believed, I actually sensed that I had the entrepreneurial feel. And I always like to create things, create a company, create something. And once it's established and doing well, I start to get bored. So I withdraw myself. So I'm always ambitious about starting things, exploring things, putting the puzzle together. And once it's established, I would hand it over to anyone. And that's the thing that made me realize that I like the entrepreneurship
Absolutely.
and entrepreneurial mindset.
Absolutely. So you're an ideas person.
Yeah.
Can you take me back to when you were younger? One of the first prominent ideas that you've had that stick to in your brain. It could be anything from like baking a cake to making something out of Lego to a game that you played.
I'm almost a professional horse equestrian.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's the thing that I always did. That's a game that I played.
Yeah.
Riding horses is a challenge. It's either you or the horse. So I always had this challenge feel. So if you want to link it to the entrepreneurship is always a challenge.
Absolutely.
For an entrepreneur to start an idea, you need to be brave enough. For you to ride a horse and be very confident while riding a horse is you being brave. So I always linked it to that. And the horses is a thing I did since I was a child until today as we speak.
I think that's really impressive. But given that you are an entrepreneur by feeling, by trade, by gut feel, but also by execution, entrepreneurs fail more than they succeed.
Yeah.
So do you remember maybe a failure moment or a mistake that you made that in the moment you were like, I'm just going to go eat some ice cream or, turn off my phone and just take a moment for something that you really learned from?
Of course, there are a lot of moments that a person can fail. There are a lot of things that we did. Maybe I did not like the result of it, or I regretted having specific decision, asking someone not to work in the company anymore and regretting it. And for me being a decision maker, because for me being a CEO it's a very high position for me to work on daily tasks.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I might regret is changing someone from the team or redirecting the whole company. So sometimes I do regret that there's this one time where I thought someone would be better in another place, and I moved this person to another department, and this whole department failed. And it's the greatest department we have. And what I did is I really turned off my phone. So you gave a very similar metaphor, saying you turned off your phone. That's a thing I would do if I fail. But that does not mean you're not supposed to learn from your failure.
Absolutely.
You can fix whatever. Entrepreneurs, I don't believe that entrepreneurs fail more than they succeed if they're a real entrepreneur. Because a real entrepreneur always expects failure more than success. You're always in the trial phase till you establish. So that's what I think, actually.
Being a CEO is really tough, right?
Yeah.
I'm also a CEO. It's so tough because no one really teaches you the skills in the same way, right? You don't necessarily go on the course. You don't have the relevant kind of career ladder. You'd have an idea and then you are CEO and then you have to execute. Do you have siblings?
I do.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have 4.
And where are you in the sibling
5, sorry.
chain?
Second.
I asked Princess Lamia this question yesterday as well, but how do you think having siblings has helped you build those skills that you need in business?
I think so. I have a very close relationship with my elder brother, and we had a very bad relationship when we were younger because it's only a year difference from us. And I think this helped me to know that it's not necessary to have a bad relationship with someone, is to have a conflict with them. You can agree on specific things. And now he's my best friend. Like when we grew older, he's the closest to me. So that taught me. Other than that, is with my other siblings, is accepting any idea, because we can speak freely at home. Anyone can discriminate anything, can tell their opinion. And I think I come from a house where you can comfortably talk about what you think about, even if you don't agree with one of your parents. You can tell them, I don't agree with this, and that. And that helped me in work, is me accepting discrimination from my team. I just want to answer a question when you said being a CEO is being you being on top. This is not a theory I follow at all. I do join small calls. I do integrate with the small team. I don't work with managers. My managers, the managers that reports to me, I never work with them. I work with juniors. I go to juniors because we invest in them. I teach them. I try as much as I can to understand the personality, understand the abilities, for me to scale them.
Yes.
For me to have them by my team to create a really strong team.
Absolutely. And what I'm hearing you say is CEOs take on a lot of hats, right?
We do take.
I think because of social media, people think you're a CEO and you're just having a great salary, you're living the best life, and everything is just a success reel. But actually, CEOs do the work that most people don't want to do.
Yeah.
Because you're making it work.
Decision making is the hardest thing, and you're the only person who can take a decision at the company.
And what are your tips or your ritual when it comes to making a really tough decision? What do you do in the process so that it's not rushed, or maybe if you have time, it's not under pressure? Sleep on it.
Sleep on it. Think about it twice. Don't be so emotional driven when you're in work. And never have your emotions in work when it comes to a person you love, so you would not punish, and a person you don't like, so you would be very tough on them. So just sleep on it, take things smoothly. And sometimes I think one of the main characters of a CEO is being brave. You need to be brave. You need to take decisions. Sometimes it would be good, sometimes it would be bad. But you just need to be brave. And once you made up your mind, don't listen to a lot of people.
And my final question for you is, of course, you spoke about your summit, which is super exciting. What are some exciting trends that you're looking forward to, especially as entrepreneurs come into this ecosystem?
I think one of the problems that everyone had, and not everyone was aware of, is when we're speaking B2C tech startups, is not having a smooth consumer's journey.
Absolutely.
And everyone now is working in a very practical, very smooth consumer's journey. So I like that.
Well, thank you for sharing. And when people want to get involved with you personally and the RiseUp Summit that you're running, how do they get in touch and how do they find you?
They can find us on all social media platforms. They can visit our website and they can send us an email, Hala, HALA @riseup.co, and the team would answer them.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.